We have followed all sorts of agreements, in South Sudan, and the last one, which is now the revitalization of an agreement that has failed before, is expected, to take place. There are problems. It has problems, and some of those problems are the reasons why there has been extension, for 6 months, requested by opposition, which is led by Dr. Riek Machar, and that has been granted. Now, it is expected that they will be forming the government sometime by the end of October. That would be the end of the 6 months. My honest opinion about this is two-sided. First of all, I would love to see that it succeeds. But the odds against it are very many. And I think one of the areas that is not actually looked at by many people is the economics. There is hardly any money that can actually sustain the kind of expanded government of national unity that they are going to set up. They will run out of money, sooner or later, and there is no money coming from outside. So economically, I don't think they will be able to sustain. Secondly, what exactly are they going to do that is new? President Kiir and Dr. Riek Machar are going to work towards competition in an election that will take place in 3 years' time. My feeling is that we will not even reach there. Sooner or later, there will be a conflict of interest. There will be nothing done during the interim period because both of them are trying to propagate their positions for the elections. However, if they decided that by the end of 3 years, they will not stand for elections anymore, the two of them, that other people will step in and stand for elections, then they step down. I think then we would have the chance, for peace to continue. When we talk about civil society, I think sometimes we forget about the type of civil society that these two elders, Kiir Mayardit and Riek could listen to. And I think these are the chiefs and traditional leaders. That are the people in the communities. So I think the civil societies, the young guys who are in towns, in the cities, should be linked. They should link themselves to the bigger civil society, which is represented by the chiefs and the communities. Once they do that, it will be a united voice of the youth, because the civil societies in the cities like Juba or Wow or in the diaspora tend to be young people. Generally, whom people like Kiir and Riek don't even want to talk to. So why not connect to the older people who are in the countryside, the chiefs, the paramount chiefs, because they respect them. I think if that happens, people will go back to war. All these sections and all these parties, they got armies, they got soldiers, and those people are not just going to surrender and do nothing. They will have to find a way out. And the only people who can help them find a way out before it collapses is Riek and Kiir. I think that there will be intensified international pressure on both the people in government and the people in opposition. Sanctions on these people will become a reality. Sanctions on Kiir and the members of the government, sanctions on Riek Machar and members of the government. But we all know that these sanctions will not work unless Uganda, unless Kenya, unless Ethiopia unless Sudan even cooperate. Because unless these these four countries cooperate, the sanctions will not work. Because they got homes here in Uganda, they got homes in Kenya, they got homes in Ethiopia, and they got homes in Sudan. Oh, these guys have got bank accounts, in Kenya, in Uganda, in Ethiopia. They got their houses in that place, and these houses can be investigated. How on earth did they get such expensive houses? Was it because of money they repatriated out of South Sudan? That's out of corruption. Are they benefiting from corruption? Are they benefiting from corrupting South Sudan and making it completely economically unbearable? There are so many things that can be done to make it difficult for them and probably for their families as well. Unfortunately, this is what will happen in the end. It's all central. In the end, there will be no peace anyway, unless the South Sudanese are part of it, unless it is the South Sudanese who are pushing the agenda, to change. And this pushing of the agenda, as I said earlier, should be done by the civil society, but in coordination with the larger civil society. The civil society in the cities are informed about what is going on in the country as well as outside, but in honesty, they are not connecting to the youth. Huge number of youth are out there in the cattle camp. These are the people from whom the politicians recruit from. Because the media can begin to be able to actually highlight the opinions, highlight the pressure from the communities, help the media to focus on issues of peace, help the media to get those people who are peace workers, their voices heard. Not just talk to the president of the country, not just talk to the minister, but what about the farmer? What does he think about what is going on in Juba? What about the young guy who is holding the gun? Can he talk? And I think the media can find ways to be able to give, amplify their voices. Yes, the future of South Sudan. If we talk at the immediate future, it is messy. But in the end, it will work out because everybody is concerned about it. South Sudanese are concerned about it themselves. And, sooner or later, we'll learn how to move forward.